On 20th April 2002, Floyd Mayweather fought the closest fight of his record against Jose Luis Castillo, and I'll be answering the question, why are boxing fans still debating who really won? Floyd Mayweather has had a dazzling 50-win, 0-loss boxing record. Or has he? Although he went down the boxing records with 0 draws or losses, he sure had his tough matches. His bout against Jose Luis Castillo was his closest match to losing. And no, this is not only my opinion. Most boxing fans, especially South Americans, think the match results weren't fair. The live crew and TV judge that night all scored for his opponent, Castillo. So why is that? Well, firstly, according to CompuBox, the Mexican fighter landed 46 more punches. That is 203 punches to pretty boy Floyd Mayweather's 157. That was the only time Floyd was outlanded in his entire career. He was also outlanded in power punches, 173 to 66. Both men fought rough. It was almost like a street fight.
Castillo would like nothing better than to turn this into a street fight.
They were both cut a point for low blows. Mayweather started off well with his jab, winning 3 first rounds, but Castillo stood his ground and never took a step back. He kept coming rough on Mayweather, cornering him to the ropes. After the 3rd round, he took control of the match. The tides had turned against Mayweather. The 7th round, though, was his clearest win, with a hard blow ending the round. After the 8th round, though, is controversial, whether Mayweather was in the lead or Castillo. Most say Floyd caught up to Castillo's pace and the belt was rightfully given, but those who dispute Mayweather's win undoubtedly gave some of the remaining rounds to Castillo as well. Despite all this, though, one thing was obvious, that pretty boy Mayweather clearly had a weak spot for a strong, hard-punching, roughhouse fighter. This style of boxing was not Mayweather's favorite, and it showed, as later on, Marcos Maidana ticked all these boxes as well and gave him a rough fight. With that style and standing his ground, many thought Castillo had done enough to retain his title, but the judges had the scorecards 115 to 111 twice and 116 to 111 all in the Americans' favor. Plenty in media disputed the decision and uproared, which still goes on to this day. Castillo himself disagreed and said he knew in his heart that he had won, but had he really? As much as some boxing fans wish to see Mayweather's record drop to 49 wins, that was not the case. CompuBox tells one story, but most of Castillo's blows were a miss. If you look closely to the punches he threw, you can see most of them being body shots or smothered shots, rescoring the fight's 20
years later.
Talksport has Mayweather narrowly edging the fight 114 to 112, which is 7 rounds to 5 with the point deductions. It could have been a draw, but it wasn't an outrageous robbery as some claim. Perhaps the fans' pre-fight expectations that Floyd Mayweather would box rings around Castillo without a trouble were too much, and since Mayweather couldn't meet these expectations, Castillo got even more credit for the success he had. And that by giving Mayweather a rough time and making the fight close, he was given a greater applause than Mayweather for almost the same effort. But Castillo had undoubtedly achieved one thing, that beating Mayweather could be achieved. Floyd had hardly been troubled in his 27 wins before this bout, but every fighter has their nemesis, and well, Mayweather's was a fighter that stood his ground and never backed off, no matter what you threw at him. In the immediate aftermath to this match, Mayweather went off blaming a shoulder injury for his poor display. He said, quote unquote, "My last training day, I hurt my rotator in my left shoulder, so I wasn't able to use my jab like I wanted to. My left wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be, but I didn't want to have no excuses like other champions, that when they get hurt, they don't even show up to the fight." Okay, now did Mayweather really lose to Castillo as some people claim? Well, the short answer is no. It is highly possible that the bout could have ended with a draw, but many sources, including the judges that night, are certain Mayweather rightfully won. To prove his unquestionable victory to his fans, Mayweather and Castillo had a rematch before 2002 ended. This was to settle the outcome once and for all, and Castillo lost. This time, the judges were kinder to Castillo in their scorecards. Mayweather won by the scores of 115 to 113 and 116 to 113 twice. But during this match, pretty boy Mayweather did a better job of frustrating Castillo and was the clear winner of the night. This for sure gave an end to the question, did Mayweather actually lose to Castillo? Do you still think that question? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be making an analysis of their second bout as well, to show why Mayweather was the clear winner of that night. Watch it when it comes out, subscribe or get slapped.